3 months, 3 rules. Number 1, you're gonna wake up with a smile on your face every single morning. 2, spend time with the people you love. And I mean, it doesn't have to be anything special, it's spend time with them. 3, every day next 3 months, you are going to eat a Snickers bar. And I mean every day, okay? Tell me this, Rose. How bad is it?
I ain't in it for the money, I ain't in it for the fame, I ain't in it for the accolades. Tryna tell me with a vision of the riches and the women, I ain't with it, tell them not today. Try to separate the crew, but the truth is I did it. Got the same vision, so you know we stay winning. Some of y'all chasing recognition, not me, I do it for the love, yeah. Yeah, I do it for the love.
So yeah, this weekend we got the 48-hour film festival.
We do.
This will be my 3rd time doing it overall. This will be the 2nd time we're doing it as a Pixel Labs team, though, which is exciting. Pretty much an almost entirely brand new team, except for Zach and I and kind of Noah. Noah was involved. Yeah, you were involved last year, but it was before you were an intern even, actually. Because, yeah, I guess we did it last summer. Mm-hmm. So it was actually right before you were an intern, I remember. And we last minute asked you if you wanted to have a small role in it, just because we knew you were available and knew you did things like that and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I think it was like literally like midnight the night before we like messaged you or something ridiculous.
I know, I was
like that.
What? And I was like, okay. I was really confused, but I was like, oh, okay, this sounds fun.
Yeah. But yeah, this time you'll be helping on the crew this time.
Heck
We're
yeah.
excited for that. And then have a bunch of other new fresh faces that hopefully you'll see on a future vlog here
Sure.
and everything. And so yeah, it's going a little bit differently this year compared to last year. Most of it's going to be done, at least the interacting and the the process of finding out which kind of film you're going to make is all going to be done virtually over Zoom this year. Normally we'd head down to Des Moines, down to the Des Moines Social Club is where they usually host the kickoff, and you'd go up to the front of the room, draw out of a hat, and you'd get your 2 genres, and then they'd tell you on a big piece of poster paper like what your quote is supposed to be, what the prop, what the character name, all that sort of thing. All that's going to be done digitally this year. And yeah, other than that, it's going to be pretty much the same here, except, just the precautions in place here. Masks. We're all going to be wearing masks during the production. Being as socially distant as we can when we can, but I mean, that's what the masks are for if we can't necessarily all the time. Yeah, what are your thoughts on it, Noah?
I think it's going to be really fun. I'm kind of glad we don't have to deal with driving all the way down to Des Moines. That's kind of nice. Like,
yeah.
No, it could be like a fun little trip. Now we don't have to, we can just meet up here and we can just get going, get established. There's no potentially just getting distracted in the car or anything like that. Once we get everything we need, we can just start writing right away. And we have access to all the computers and everything we might need, and whiteboards and space to fit everyone in case other people wanted to be part of the process, so we don't have to only limit it to, okay, there's only 3 of us in the car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it'll save us probably about 3 hours on each side of the 48 hours there, because it starts right when you are done at the kickoff. So I mean, we technically not lose, but are inconvenienced in the car for at least 2.5 hours of the first 48 hours, and then we always would had to plan the drive back and book that into the time of when we need to complete things.
True, because you'd have to submit it last year and years prior, by actually physically handing it in, right?
Yes, yep. Yeah. I think you turn it in a USB. This year I believe it's some sort of upload that we're doing. So we'll have to factor that in, but that should hopefully, knock on wood, be significantly less time than it would be to drive there and be in person.
Hopefully we're not filming right up until
the
last minute,
right,
or doing anything crazy right up until the last minute. Hopefully it's just little tweaks or just rewatching it, just because It's going to be awesome. It's an awesome project. Don't know what it is, but it's going to be cool.
It's going to be cool. I guess we didn't even really talk. What is the 48-hour film festival? It is, pretty self-evident by the title of the event. But yeah, it's a big event that's held all the way around the world. But they each have like different, sort of like sectors or regions,
regions
where they host it. So like there's a Chicago one, there's like a Minneapolis one, there's there's basically they have these events all across the world, and then they also have a Des Moines one. They happen to have a Des Moines one, so that's the one we're partaking in, and basically a bunch of teams. They assemble their teams, their crews. They get two genres to pick from, or even possibly combine. So for examples, there's like superhero, there's detective cop, there's like
buddy
dramas,
comedy, or like buddy stuff or comedy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different genres, and they randomly select two of them for you, or you pick them out randomly. Is typically how it would work, and from there you make a movie in just the 48 hours. You can't use anything that was ever pre-shot before the 48 hours. It's all created in that 48 hours, and it's intense, it's fun, it's creative, it's everyone at their peak creatively, I think, is kind of how I've seen it the last 2 times that I've done it, and it's a lot of fun. Not only are you gonna make a movie, but you get to be done with it and not have to worry about it after that, which is kind of nice. I guess the the trade-off or the caveat of that is maybe you have to rush things or do things that you wouldn't normally do, or in a process that you wouldn't normally do, but it's a great way to flex the creative muscle and just make something, and in the end be pretty proud of it that you made it in, especially that time limit. We like to take it up a little bit up the notch there. We're proud of what we do, but we like to still do it at the caliber that we know we're able to production wise. So we're not holding any punches. We try to make this thing look and feel and sound the best despite being constrained to the time limit. So I'm looking forward to do that. What are you going to be doing for like the crew this year, Noah?
I think I'm going to be helping out with some of the writing and stuff, getting that going, helping out with some, I guess, kind of like directing a little bit here and there, just kind of like on sheets and stuff, but mainly I'll be taking notes and be working on editing.
Yep.
I'll be excited for that because that's fun, because it's like the second part of like creating the feel of the whole thing. Like you get the like cinematographer angle that you're taking up the camera and stuff like that, but then there's another angle of having to piece it all together and seeing what can be made from that. So I'm excited to see what that lends itself to. And I'm excited too because we're lucky where Pixel Labs is like something that we get to do this through.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to just us, because all I have is my Canon 70D, a tripod, and a shotgun mic and a Zoom recorder, but I don't even have like a stand for the microphone and stuff. I just hook it into my camera half the time.
Yeah.
So it's cool that we can actually get like the gear and use monitors and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things like we always talk about, using what you have to make stuff. And if we didn't have access to all the stuff we usually have, but if you have access to the stuff, we're going to use it, definitely.
Use it. There's no reason not to.
Not going to complain about, having access to some of the stuff, drones, gimbals, cinema lenses, monitors, like you're talking about. We're going to be using it all, and it's going to be fun because in the end, that's what we use here at Pixel Labs all the time. My role is going to be primarily behind the camera. I'll probably doing a little bit of cinematography and directing a little bit here and there too, and anything else that needs help aside from that. But probably
maybe we'll act in it this year. Maybe we'll reprise roles.
I was gonna say we were both we both were in front of the cameras last year too. So if it calls for it, I will definitely step in and be more than willing to do that. But we do have, I believe we have maybe 3 people on board, 3 or 4 people on board for.
It's better than I think one last year that was like a confirmed only actor.
Yeah. Yep, we have at least 3 people. Yeah, we have at least 3 people confirmed that are going to act in most likely main roles, and we'll fill out extras and side roles where we need to and everything. But it's going to be exciting, really fun stuff. Fingers crossed we get a good genre. Although we talked about it, we think we can adapt and make anything work, but it is more fun when you have a genre that you're passionate about. What's the genre that you are hoping for if you had to pick one?
I don't think it's really a genre necessarily. I think it's more, I'm excited for like a style. Like I've like the movies and TV shows and stuff I've been watching a lot lately, I've noticed very like shows that and like movies that I've really really enjoyed are distinct in their like everything is thought through. Like there's like if the characters act a certain way, that's reflected in the editing process. It's kind of like flipped on its head in the editing process. Kind of like with the idea of, I always think of this one now, but like Midsummer, it's a horror movie, but it's never fully dark. Yeah. Like even in like their world, like the sun always just kind of like dips below the horizon, I think, in wherever they're located in that place. Because I noticed, it's never fully dark, and a lot of like the really kind of gruesome stuff that happens in like broad daylight. So right. I think it's gonna be fun to play with that idea of like if we draw horror or thriller, maybe we do take an approach that's not obviously like the same idea, but something similar where we maybe don't want to limit ourselves to only night. Right. So how can we make this equally scary during the day when you can see everything? It's like, okay, we just gotta get a little bit craftier, which I'm also excited for. Just I kind of like limitations. Yeah. When it comes to things like this, just because it really forces you to think outside the box. Like if we, especially because we have the pandemic, we have like limited actors and crew, we have limited time. So it's the idea of like, what story can we do in maybe like 2 spaces? You don't need to build this big long story where you go to 6 different locations if travel isn't necessary. Yeah. That way then you can spend more time with actual story and creating a good piece.
Yeah. I think that's I'm definitely feeling you're there with the whole stretching our limits and adapting things. I think like you said, with the pandemic going on, and even last year with it being 48 hours, there's only so much that you can put into finding locations and getting people on board and willing to let you film at their location. Like last year we used Cottonwood Canyon, the coffee shop next door, and they're very generous in letting us do that, but totally would not understand if they weren't cool with that, and we would have had to have adapted and changed the story to fit something that would be plausible and able to be accomplished. So that's going to be a big thing. I'm with you there too. It would be cool to do a horror movie. Now that we're saying it, it probably won't happen.
What genre are you kind of?
Yeah, that would be.
I want to get freaking like romance and like drama or something where it's just like the two that go together the most, but they're sometimes the most vanilla. But I'm sure we can make it something. But like, what are you most interested, or what are you excited for as far as like a genre?
So I think whatever it would be, I would want to do something where you could like you said, like spin it on its head, do something as different as possible with that. Because I mean, the biggest inclination I think a lot of people go for is it's only 48 hours, we gotta play it safe. Let's do the guy wakes up in his bed in the morning, gets out of bed, and like the classic, you see all the tropes. Yeah, like
something happens, or he has to get the girl in this amount of time, or something just kind of like that.
I'm hoping whatever it is, whether it's I think it'd be cool to do a horror movie. I think it'd be cool to do like a superhero movie, something like that, like where we just adapt to the means that we have, but also still think outside the box. And I don't know, a big thing that I would like to do or have wanted to do with the movie is to not go too controversial with it, but something where like either people are going to love it or hate it. And the people who love it are passionate about it, and the people who hate it are equally as passionate about it. I think that is the best line to toe when making a movie, because I don't know, it gets people to talk about it. It gets people to see it. Either way, like if people see it and hate it, then people are gonna go see it and be like, why did this person hate it? Or if people see it and rave and love about it, people are gonna be like, well, why did this person love this movie so much? I want to check it out. Either way, it's, I don't know, a tactic, I guess, if you will, to get people to pay attention to what you're doing. So I think that would be cool. Whether or not we are actually able to do that because we're a company and
obviously since we're doing it through Pixel Labs, there's this idea that like it would be cool to promote this as something that we did as I think retro neon signs or whatever, like
retro neon films is
yeah.
our fake shell production company. Yeah.
But yeah, it could be something cool where, because obviously if we go too outside the box, or not too outside the box, if we go too far in a way of, you mentioned controversial in the sense, but I think you were meaning it in more the sense of like the style of the movie itself, not
not the subject matter necessarily. Yeah.
Which I think is where if we went subject matter controversial, we have to think of where like we cannot associate this with our company, which means we cannot really promote this because we all work in the company and we technically did this as a company.
Yeah.
But I think if we like, and I think that's also what gives us passion and gives us kind of drive, is that there is that possibility, or there is that thing that our company and our work, the daily work we do is put into this, but on a different level.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because then we can really, like you said, like flex those creative muscles, or when we are concepting ideas for clients that might be a little too extreme for that situation, it could lend itself to this project, which I think would be really cool. And I think, we're going to see a lot of awesome creativity coming out of this.
I agree. So I'm really excited, and we plan on doing a post 48 hours sort of briefing for you all so you can kind of see where we are now and where we are after. We'll probably be exhausted and
probably a little tired.
Pumped filled with coffee, I would imagine, afterwards, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to hopefully be able to show you all this video. I guess I don't know why we didn't release the one last year. I think maybe we should do that at some point.
I don't know either. Yeah, I think Zach was like, I think that's how that conversation started about how he wanted this to be promoted, because I don't think there was ever, I think it was just an issue that there was never a cut plan.
Yeah, I think I remember
about promoting it.
Yeah, I think I remember we talked about like tweaking some things and like editing it and polishing it up, but we just never did that. So
just got busy. And
it'd be cool to maybe just release that at some point, because I'm still pretty proud of that and everything. And hopefully you guys will be able to see this next movie that we put together here soon. But yeah, so looking forward to that, and we'll see you guys in more than 48 hours now, but what is it, like 96 hours or something like that?
Something like that.
We'll see you then. So
see you then, and be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of the Pixel vlogs and other videos and stuff we put out on YouTube and things of that nature.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you.